Okay, welcome back to another round of playing the Wizards with myself, Radagast versus Alatar. And we are at Bjorn, with the Radagast team. We are at Bjorn's house. We would love to pick up the Iron Hill Dwarves, but I think we need to go to Rivendell and heal first. We've got too many injured members of the party, and if we can just get healed up, we'll be in great shape. We'll be pretty hard to touch. So let's do that. And I am going to, I like the items everyone's holding, but just for call of home prevention, or we actually have some factions now, so we have to also think about muster disperses. So just to prevent against that, I'm going to keep us at a nice 10 general influence free, and we are going to head to Rivendell from Bjorn's house. So from the Anduin Vales to Rivendell, to Rudour is the Borderlands Wilderness, and we would normally draw one, but because of those two wilderness in our site path, we can draw up to 3 if we so choose. Okay, actually we could even make that borderland a wilderness with fog. I don't think that's... I don't think that's necessary. That seems like overkill. Let's save this for later. Okay, so we can draw up to 3. Our hazard limit is 5. The men of Northern Rivendell. Celeborn, okay. And a cave drake. Okay. That's the last cave drake. The other 2 have been killed. Yeah. So gotta quit doing that. But okay, these are the 3 that we've pulled, and our opponent can draw. Our opponent can draw 1. Okay, so they have a hazard limit of 5. We definitely want to play Unexpected Outpost to bring rank upon rank back in this into our play deck and shuffle. And then the question is, is there any benefit to trying to play a hazard on them? Well, I guess we can't. Sell swords between charters. That has to be keyed to a border hold or a shadow hold. So we couldn't even play that if we wanted to. The only thing we could play is Lawless Men. That's 2 strikes of 9. They're headed to a haven. I think that's just handing them a point. I keep saying that, but it's true. So they arrive safely. Meanwhile, back over here, I'm going to discard. I don't want to blow up the Fellowship just now. Celeborn's out. And then the question is, do I want to keep the men of Northern Rivendell? Let's lose the Light Drake. Okay, there we go. Okay. And we've arrived in Rivendell. Huzzah. Okay. Not much to do here in Rivendell, but as Radagast is untapped, I absolutely could tap him to bring 5 cards in from the sideboard into the discard. Let's see. I definitely would love to bring in Forthy Hastened. These 2 cards are excellent for removing corruption cards. These are good for passing corruption checks, but they can also help us. They can also help us make an influence check. That's a possibility. Muster says a warrior only influence check is automatically successful. This card's been tweaked, and I approve of this tweak. This was a little overpowered, or just kind of not fun. It takes all of the fun out of it. So I think it's been tweaked to say that the warrior's prowess is added to the influence check, which is still, I mean, for the most part, usually guarantees a win, but it's a less just blah, you know. Wizard's Ring would be amazing. I would love to get that. And or do we just bring Wizard's Ring and Forthy Hastened? I mean, Wizard's Ring would be cool. Okay. We're gonna tap Radagast to take the Wizard's Ring and put it in the play deck. And shuffle. Maybe that'll come up before we leave the Haven. That would be super. Okay. And then we can discard one and bring... We can discard... Did I already do that? No. We can discard a card and bring our hand back up to... I think we've got enough to do. We've got some great cards to help us along the way. We've got some stuff to do against them if we want. Pits of Angband. Right. At the end of each turn, the player may take one. Okay. So when we played that, we could have taken when we played that, we could have taken one dragon. We should have taken one dragon. It's either a winged cold drake or Scorba or a light drake. I could play Fog and then... Okay. I'm going to bring this winged cold drake back in. So, from the Pits of Angband, winged cold drake, bring it back in. And then we're not going to discard anything. So, Smalga Hunt is back in our play deck already, so we don't need to take advantage of this. But we can discard one if we'd like, and maybe we should. Let's discard a Lawless Man. Sword of Gondolin. Good. Okay, now we have something to do next turn. Alright, and now we're back over here for this team's turn, and I'm going to untap Elrond, and yes, so we have a sword we could get. It's a major item. Okay, so there's not much need to shuffle anybody around. One of these days we'll go back to the Haven and heal Orphan. Sorry, dude. He's suffering a lot. But not today. Let's just... I mean, we could go pick up Baratar. There's something to be said for that. We could go pick up Baratar and then go get that sword. Honestly, I need someone to carry the sword. I don't want Elrond holding it. Okay, alright, I've talked myself out of it. We're not going to go to the Ruined Signal Tower. We're going back to Rivendell. I have to remind myself that when Elrond's in Rivendell, we get to hold an extra card in our hand. He's usually not staying put there long, but we can do that if he's there at the end of the turn. Alright, so... And I did forget that last time. Okay, so we're headed from Goblin Gate to Rivendell. That's a double wilderness sight path. We're leaving out of a shadow hold. We're headed to a haven. We can draw up to 1. They can draw up to 2. And we have a hazard limit of 3. A Corahil. And the Wizard's Ring. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Finally some luck. Okay. So we could totally get them with the Cave Drake, and I don't see a huge reason not to. That Land Drake is there too, and he's also another attacker chooses defending characters. Yeah. However, Gollum can tap to cancel a strike in with the Wilderness. Goldberry can tap to cancel a strike in the Wilderness. That's very frustrating. We're going to have a hard time playing hazards on them with that happening there. And I don't know what to do about that. We need to... What do we have in our sideboard that could help us in this situation? We have a bunch of corruption cards. So far, the best move we made was playing that corruption card on Eladin. So that might not be the worst idea. It's a bummer. Well, when they go to a Ruins and Lair, we could play these. So what I think I'm going to do is play Hormorath. Now, do I want to tap him immediately and bring in something from the sideboard? We're going to be at the bottom of the play deck soon enough. As we get closer, I will think about tapping him and bringing cards into the discard. I also, his add 1 strike is awesome, especially to a Cave Drake who has 2 strikes, attack or chooses defending, or any of these drakes that have high prowess. So, okay, so I'm just going to play Hormorath, and then they make it safely to Rivendell. So bring our hand back up to 8. It is. Bring this hand back up to 8. You're back down to 8, sorry. It is. Now, Goblin Gate's gone. Oh, wait, no. There we go. Got to remember. Elrond is in Rivendell. I have 9 cards in my hand. Okay, alright. Which is great. Super. So, Elrond's in Rivendell, and yes, we can totally tap Alatar and bring something. I mean, these spells are also pretty cool. Return Wizard Uncloaked. The Palantir, that's great too. We've got something to do though. I'm just going to tap Alatar and bring Enforthi Hastened into the... Right? Is that the play? Yes. I'm going to bring Enforthi Hastened into the play deck. So tap Alatar, bring this into the play deck. That's a great card. Just untaps this character in your wizard's party. Nice and simple. Gotta love that. Alright, and that's the end of the turn. That's the end of the round.